Crawfish open.
I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and get started with Commissioners Court. The time is 10:04 a.m. We'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Jones.
I can't hear y'all.
Commissioner Jones, can you hear me?
I can hear
you. We'll start with roll call with you, sir.
Yes, Peter Jones, Commissioner Precinct 1, present.
Linda Roschke, Precinct 2.
Mike Sandoval, Precinct 3.
Commissioner Moss. Commissioner Moss.
I believe he said he couldn't hear us.
As his speakers aren't connected properly.
Try it again, Jay Don. I think we can hear you now. Jay Don, can you hear us? And I can hear him, but I don't think he can hear us.
I can't hear him.
Judge, there's on the bottom left corner, when you click on that microphone arrow up, you can select what speakers. He needs to be selecting the speakers for his computer.
Okay, let me.
Hello.
Hey, Jay.
I'm trying to join on this iPad thing.
Look back over at your.
Look back over at the bottom of your screen. On your laptop.
Okay, right there.
It's got the microphone.
Yes, sir.
All right, there's an arrow just to the right of that.
Yes, sir.
Click on that arrow.
Okay.
And then it gives you a choice of select speaker.
Select a speaker. So what should I put that on?
You should be able to pick just your system speakers.
Save it. Okay.
See how that did.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. Yes.
I can hear. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all are shaking your head yes, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me, Jerry Don?
Should say like Dell system. So digital audio, is that when you should pick USB audio? I don't know. The one who should.
Okay, go to the one below that that says test speakers and microphone. If you click on that arrow.
Okay, test speakers and microphone. Click on that one.
Yeah. We can hear you talking on it. But I don't know if you can hear, I don't know if you're picking up, if your speakers are picking up.
It says unmute your speaker or increase your volume. I don't know how to increase my volume on this laptop. You should be able to move the mouse all the way over to the right next to the time and date. Okay, right there.
And there's a little sound bar.
There it is. There it is.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now we're in business. Okay. Okay, can you hear us now, J-Don?
Yes, sir, I can.
All right.
Thank you.
We are in business. Thanks, everybody, for your patience.
All right, I'm trying to get on mine. Hang on. Connecting now. Maybe I can get on my Zoom, on my Kindle. I'm trying now.
There you are,
Okay,
Linda.
can you guys? Okay.
So are you going to hang up on your cell phone, Linda?
Yeah, I am now.
Okay. Okay, so everybody is back in. The time now is 10 minutes after 10. We'll start with, we've done roll call. We'll go ahead and start with an update from Dr. Franklin on COVID-19.
We this morning we're at 17,000 cases in the state of Texas. Every day this week, the case count has gone up about 900 to 1,000 cases each and every day. The good news there is that that has been very flat, at least for the last week or so. The case count nationwide are very, very high at 700,000 throughout the United States. The interesting number to me is the incidence, the number of cases that is seen per 100,000 people. The incidence in Texas, we're seeing about 79 cases per 100,000 people. In New York City, for instance, it's 1,400 per 1,000 people. I really think natural social distance, just being farther apart from people in Texas, is working, and the measures that we're using are working. One thing I was talking to Judge Cunningham about this morning is our expected peak for this virus. It dances all over the board. As of yesterday, they were expecting us to peak at the end of the month on April 30th. This morning, they updated the website and they're expecting it to peak tomorrow. What does that mean? That means it's anybody's guess, but it should be here in the next 2 weeks. Like I said, I think that as far as daily increases, this is probably about as bad as it's going to get with what we're doing right now. Now, as we release some of the restrictions that were released yesterday by Governor Abbott, I have no guesses, but that's where we are right now.
Okay. What's the status in Llano? Any difference?
Still have 3 cases here in Llano. All 3 of them are listed as recovered by the state of Texas.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions for Jack?
We have any testing going on in Llano that across the board?
We are, yesterday, I believe it stated that we had done 6 tests. I'm still not sure how the state is able to track how many tests we're doing in Llano, Texas, but I will tell you what the state said, the Department of State Health Services website said, and my tracking of the local doctors equaled exactly yesterday. So makes you wonder how they're watching us, but they're watching us. We are still doing some testing. It is still limited compared to other areas throughout the country, but we also have fewer cases than throughout the country. So
No the testing hasn't resulted in any more cases being positive.
nope, not as of this time.
Good.
The most recent positive was in Burnett County, and I believe that was yesterday, but that was a person who had traveled to Pecos, Texas to get tested. So I'm not certain that that was a Burnett County resident.
And that's part of the problem that we faced all along is that, you know, any of the doctors that refer someone here, they don't get tested in Llano unless they go to Dr. Franklin. And Dr. Franklin has had very limited supply of test kits to do any testing. So when we listened to the call yesterday with TDM and with the governor, it's my understanding they're going to start mobilizing testing and sending it out. If there's a hot spot, if you will, in the state of Texas, they're going to send out some type of mobile testing facility or drive-through testing for that area. But they haven't laid out any plans or anything for that or explained anything further other than just what we heard on the phone call yesterday. Gilbert, did you have anything before we moved on?
I forwarded an email to all the commissioners so they could have the update on the activity report. I sent that to you about 10 minutes before this meeting occurred. And then I wanted to share that, you know, the conversation we had with the DSHS has opened up a line of communication. They are emailing us daily what our report is. So there is more communication and we are getting more feedback, which we're not receiving. That's all I have.
Thanks, Gilbert. Anybody have any questions for Gilbert?
No, sir.
Okay, so just the only thing that we had on this was one item that was discussion only, and it's relating to Governor Abbott's April 17th, 2020 executive orders 15, 16, and 17. For those of you that don't know, when the governor came out, he issued those orders. The one thing that definitely had impact on us here in Llano was he closed schools for the remainder of the school year. That would be, well, let me just start at the top with General Order 15. What General Order 15 did was that was the one that allows for the surgeries for the hospitals and doctors to go on with doing surgeries again. They had previously, let's see, I can't remember the exact date, but he had previously stopped surgeries in order to save beds in hospitals. And so now he's opened those surgeries back up. And so that frees up some of the beds to do that type of stuff. That was General Order 15. General Order 16 related to the strategic reopening of Texas, which is to be announced later. So I'm not real sure what that's going to entail. What they told us was that they were going to reopen Texas, and they'll tell us more later. And that's literally all we found out. And then General Order 17 was the strike force to open Texas. And that's a large group of, I guess, world-renowned and state-renowned business leaders that are going to work as a task force, if you will, to help us get open. The information that he put out was that there was more to be told later. It didn't, as near as I could tell, and near as the mayors could tell on this call, I couldn't really tell how it impacted us. The concern that I have is that we have a stay home, stay safe order, and the way their information is going to be coming out from the governor's office is going to be, just for lack of a better term, piecemeal, where when they come up with something, they're going to put it out. So what I'm recommending is that I set our order to expire at midnight on Monday, and then we fall under the governor's order. Because if we don't do that, what's going to happen is every time the governor comes out with something or the governor's task force comes out with something, we're going to have an emergency meeting. We're going to have to see what our order has and how it deconflicts with his order. And we're going to spend a lot of our time and energy on just trying to see how we can stay in compliance. I think the challenge also is if we leave ours in its place, his order has in it that his order supersedes all other orders. So we kind of are in default to him. Says this executive order shall supersede any conflicting order issued by local officials in response to the COVID-19 disaster, but only to the extent that such a local order restricts essential services or reopens services allowed by this executive order or allows gatherings prohibited by this executive order. So he's flexing, I guess, is the best way to describe it, the state authority over county authority. So if we let our authority, if we let our order expire at midnight on Monday, then we'll fall under his order. Then we can move more efficiently, and the businesses in the county move more efficiently because they're not having to wait on us to have an emergency meeting to decipher what his order means in comparison to our order. I hope that makes sense. I'm throwing it out there. Again, it's for discussion only.
She did open, that 16 did do.
Judge,
Yes, sir. Commissioner Sandoval.
Judge, I agree with what you said about having ours stop on April 27th, but the governor has released dates. For example, on April 20th, the executive order will be to reopen the parks. You have to stay 6 feet away from people, and you have to limit the gatherings to 5 people or less. Then on April 22nd, he's lifted the restrictions on elective medical procedures. And then on April 24th, he's got retailers considered non-essential. They can begin offering delivery and curbside pickup, similar to the way the restaurants have been doing. And employees are required to stay 6 feet apart, wear the face covering, and they have to be screened for symptoms before they go into the workplace. This allows more retailers. And then on April 27th, he's going to announce additional plans to open the state economy in a safe way.
Okay.
That was in his speech on the 17th.
Yes, sir.
Now, Commissioner Sandoval, he's referring to state parks, not county parks. So as far as that's concerned,
Well,
he's only
the order said allow state parks to open Monday, April 20th. And visitors have to wear masks and stay 6 feet away from anyone who's not a member of their household. And the gatherings are 5 people or less.
right.
So that's, I guess that's why I'm saying we let ours expire at midnight on the 20th, and then we abide by all those.
Right.
Judge, when you talk about ours, that's everything, the stay home, the county work schedule, the stay home, stay safe policy, order, everything, and then everything just fall under the state, because like you said, his overrides ours anyways, doesn't it?
Well, our emergency overtime, or I can't remember what it was called, the emergency overtime policy that we put into effect, that expires at midnight on the 20th anyway. So human resource policy. So in essence, all the county employees need to return to work Tuesday morning for work. The courthouse, all of the offices will have to follow what the CDC guidelines are in conducting business. We'll still try to limit business to official business only, fulfilling statutory requirements. But Tuesday morning, we need to have the county back in business supporting the citizens.
Sir, good, I agree.
Okay, Judge, would that mean that we would continue to be close to the public and just work via phone and mail?
Well, I think if you can follow the social distancing guidelines established by CDC, we've had building maintenance go around most of this week, putting up sneeze shields, putting out hand sanitizer, putting everything in place. If someone is going to come into an office building in the county, they need to be wearing a face mask. If they're going to come with us, they need to be wearing a face mask. And what I was talking with Becky Lang about is using her education and enforcement team to maybe come around and go around to all the county offices and provide the same information to the county offices that they've been providing to the businesses. I mean, bottom line, folks, we got to get back to business. We've got to, we understand that COVID-19 is bad. We understand that there's probably going to be another outbreak at some point, and there's going to be another case pop up at some point. But in the past 4 weeks, we've become much more educated, much more aware of our surroundings, and we know what we can do to prevent this to the best of our ability, and we have to follow those guidelines. But we have to accept that we've got to get back to work. We can't stay out forever.
No, I agree with that, Judge. I just wanted to make sure on the face mask and how we're going to go about making sure that everyone does that. And if the task enforcement will come to all of the offices and educate them, I think that would be really helpful.
I agree.
Judge Peter,
Yes,
let me comment on what you just said. I agree totally with what you just said in regards to ending our order Monday. The Burnett County, I think, did this about 2 weeks ago already, basically saying that the state of Texas is setting the ground rules for this and overriding whatever Burnett did. So they basically said, no, we'll go with whatever Texas says. And I think that's sensible from our point of view to do so. I think we need to commend the county and the officials and the public for what they've done in regards to containing this in Llano County. I see a lot of responsible action in some of the stores that I go to, the Home Depots and the HEBs and so on, that have really put good controls in place. So I think people are actually following the guidelines very well, and that's probably helped us a lot in regards to the cases here in Llano County. So from that point of view, it's a positive. But it's confusing as well, where you've got, if you have multiple orders in place, and of course they're being amended on a regular basis for people to try and figure out, so what am I supposed to do, and how do I do that, and how am I going to follow this? So having just one order through the state of Texas to be compliant with, I think is helpful for people. Now, my only other concern is to make sure that from a county point of view, that when the employees go back to work, they are, protecting themselves and the public are also following some guidelines as they come to our offices, assuming that we believe that we should open up our offices. For example, our auto registration and tax office at my annex have been able to deal with the public through a drop box and not physical contact. So whether we ease up on that any, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that some more. But as long as we're following safe guidelines as a county, great, let's open up. Well, let's at least end our order and let the state of Texas provide their guidance.
Yeah, I would honestly rather focus our energy on helping the businesses get going again than spending that same amount of energy trying to decipher when they come out with a new executive order or something, how we're different. I mean, if we can modify and adapt, and we have modified and adapt to this environment as it changes over the past 3 weeks, but we've got to start setting a new norm, if you will, on how we're going to conduct business, and we've got to get on with our lives.
Right.
And we've got to also recognize at that point that there's going to be more cases pop up, but we know that now with more cases, we have protocols that people can follow that will help contain and mitigate COVID-19, which has been the goal all along. We knew we were never going to stop COVID-19 completely. The goal was to slow it down and slow the spread, and I think Texas has done a remarkable job at that.
Judge Mike Sandoval.
Yes, sir.
In that governor's order, the non-essential businesses can open on Friday, April 24th. And there's and I'll send a link to you after the meeting, and I'll copy the other commissioners. There's also a DSHS Texas Gov set of guidelines for Texas retailers for that April 24th opening. So we don't want our non-essential businesses to start opening up on Monday, because that's in violation of the governor's order.
He didn't say that, Mr. Sandoval.
Pardon?
Mr. Sandoval, he didn't say that. He said follow the governor's order that you're talking about.
That's
You don't
right.
need-
That is part of the governor's order, Jerry Don.
Yes,
I
sir.
just
That's
said
it. That's exactly what the
don't
judge
want-
said.
Follow the
I'm
governor's
saying
order.
if we're following the governor's guidelines, then we can't let our non-essential businesses open up until Friday, April 24th.
He didn't say that, Mr. Sandoval. That's what I'm saying. He's only talking about the county offices opening and starting back up.
I understand that, but I'm changed the subject, Jerry Don. I'm fully aware of the county's efforts. I just didn't want our, if this gets out and our non-essential businesses start opening up, our hairdressers and everybody else, we're going to be in violation of the governor's executive order, which we are going to follow after Monday midnight.
Well, Commissioner, the fact that we would end our Llano County order does not give approval for non-essential businesses to open, since they are still controlled or governed by Governor Abbott's order.
That's
Thank
correct.
You're not removing it.
That's correct. I'm in agreement. I just don't want our public to be misinformed, thinking they can, on Tuesday morning, start doing whatever they want to do.
Well, the announcement we make would make that clear,
Yes, sir.
no doubt.
Commissioner Roski?
Well, I was just thinking in the non-essential, and my understanding from what the governor said was that retail to go would not include hair salons or nail salons or anything to that nature. My understanding is those are still very much closed.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, they are.
Okay.
Let me ask a question, Judge. The governor's order, I was searching online for all of this, and maybe Commissioner Sandoval has it. I was trying to find the fine details on this, and I didn't locate it. Have you got a complete now new governor's order that's updated and amended, that if we make this decision Monday could be then put on our website for people to access?
Yes, we will not only put it on the website, but that's what our folks are going to do is instead of passing out the Llano County Stay Home, Stay Safe order, they're going to pass out the governor's order as they continue on with their duties. So there won't be any, the whole hope and goal is that everyone understands that we're now under one umbrella, so to speak, and that they don't have to try and decipher what the county says versus what the state says.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be confusing and frustrating for the business owners.
Yeah.
And it's a challenge to keep up with the different orders. So we need to help them be as successful as they can by making it as easy as we can for them.
Right. I agree with that.
So Judge, all of our orders, now you can make the call on this as the judge. We don't need a vote by a special vote or agenda item for the commissioners. So as of Monday night, then both the stay home, stay safe order and the human resource order would both end based on your call.
The human resource order expires at midnight anyway. So there's really no action that we need to take on that. The stay home, stay safe order, I would change the date and issue that, and it would expire at midnight also on Monday. And I'll do that Monday morning.
Right. Good.
But I wanted to have this meeting today so that all of the county employees and the people who use county services would understand that we plan to get back to work and as quickly as possible.
Right. Good. I'm in full agreement with that approach.
Me too. Thank you.
I am as well. I just want to say one more time that I really would like for our task force to make sure that they visit each office and explain, because I think there's been a lot of confusion within different offices.
There has, and we'll get that out, Commissioner Roski.
Okay, thank you.
And we're, like I say, we're trying to get information out also. There's, I know everybody understands the schools have closed. Just as an update for everyone, on Mondays and Wednesdays, Llano Pack Saddle has food pickup, and that is from 11 to 12:30. The Llano Junior High has pickup from 11 to 12:30, and again, that's on Mondays and Wednesdays. Pittsburgh Avenue Baptist Church has a food pantry and meals to go on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11:30 to 12:30. And the Llano Food Pantry has food distribution on the first and third Fridays from 9 to 12. So if you know of anyone that is in need of food, if you know of anyone that is in need of meals, and also the First Baptist Church in Llano does Wednesday night meals, drive-through only, from 5:30 to 7:30. So we've got volunteers all over the county doing stuff for our citizens, and we're very grateful for that.
Yes.
Just so everybody understands, and I don't know if y'all realized it, but on the 19th of March was when we ramped up the Emergency Operations Center. That was Gilbert Bennett, Bobby Mims, Jack Franklin, James Brown, and a couple of others. But they have literally been meeting daily and keeping us, I guess, as prepared as possible for COVID-19. So hats off to them. And if you see them, be sure and give them I don't know how much you appreciate them, because they've been turning and burning and going without sleep.
Absolutely. We are completely indebted to those folks. Thank you so much, all of you.
Good job.
Commissioners, if y'all don't have anything, that'll conclude this meeting. I very much appreciate y'all getting on, and everybody else. Well, yeah. And Jennifer, was there any public comment? Do we have anybody sign up for public comment? I'm sorry. Uh-oh, I don't see Jennifer.
The only thing that I see, someone said, yes, let's get back to living. That's the only one I saw.
Okay.
Who was that from?
That was from Doug Cotton.
Okay.
We're working on it as hard as we can. Okay, thanks everybody. That'll conclude this meeting. Again, thanks for getting on Saturday morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
Judge.
Judge.